Hi guys, former Governor of the Bank of England, Mark Carney, delivered a calm and measured criticism of Brexit and those who pushed it. Politicians who had little or no understanding of business or international trade, who promised Singapore-On-Thames and sunlit uplands, but instead delivered a North Korea of Europe. Carney, in this part of his speech, explains the problem with putting extremely conservative governments in charge of anything. Their goal is to cut taxes in order to starve the beast of government, when government is required to solve problems the private sector is incapable of. Have a listen.
When politicians proclaim that our great democracies are broken, it's not because they want to fix them. It's because they want a license to demolish. It's a model, and it's a repeated model, that uses a constraint to, quote, starve the beast of government, in the misguided view that slashing leads to growing. Starving the beast was the reflexive response of Pierre Poilievre to COVID. He saw a humanitarian catastrophe as another chance to cut taxes and spending. And it's this Pavlovian reaction of extreme conservatives to every problem. It's grounded in a basic misunderstanding of what drives economies. It meant that when Brexiteers tried to create Singapore-on-the-Thames, the Truss government instead delivered Argentina-On-The-Channel. Those didn't feel so good, and that was a year ago. Those with little experience in the private sector, lifelong politicians masquerading as free marketeers, grossly undervalue the importance of mission, of institutions, and of discipline to a strong economy. And the bad news is that while these tactics never work economically, they can work politically. Brexit happened. Donald Trump was elected. So we can't dismiss the impact of anger, but we must resist its power. And for me, doing that starts with progressives taking control of the economic agenda and making it everyone's. Prosperity is not trickle-down, but neither is it top-down. Instead, strong, inclusive, and sustainable growth is everything, everywhere, all at once.
Wonderful speech. And I really like what he mentioned here about anger and how politicians with no experience of the private sector, no experience of trade or business, tapped into this anger that people have for the institutions, for the government, and when it came to Brexit, of course, the European Union, this massive ministry, this massive bureaucracy. And we're using it as the scapegoat, blaming it as the cause of all of its problems, all of people's problems. Couldn't get an NHS appointment, it's because we're part of the European Union. You can't get a house, it's because of all these foreign workers coming in because we're a member of the European Union. So farmers, you can't plant what you want because of the European Union. Fishermen, you can't fish what you want because of the European Union. So you had these people, and I've mentioned this before, people like Boris Johnson, Nigel Farage, Jacob Rees-Mogg, people who have no understanding of what they're talking about, were able to tap into this anger. And as Mark Carney pointed out here, yes, it works politically, but it doesn't work economically. And we saw that with Liz Truss, surrounding herself with right-wing think tanks who are telling her what you need to do is cut taxes. Now, I don't know if Liz Truss actually believed them or she just wanted to go with what they were saying anyway. This idea, if we cut taxes on the richest in society, this is going to stimulate growth. Trickle-down economics, it's been proven to have failed. Give people at the top more money or don't take money away from them, and then they'll spend it and it will trickle down to the poorest in society. No, what cutting taxes results in is cuts to public services. And the poorest in society depend on those the most. So in a sense, Brexit was another example of a conservative mentality of closing down institutions of government, cutting taxes, and helping the richest in society at the expense of everyone else. So as Mark Carney has pointed out here, progressives need to take control of the economic agenda. They need to present ideas, but they also need to be on their guard from populist, right-wing populists and extreme conservatives who will say the solution to whatever problem is cutting taxes and reducing government size. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.